Hello, my name is Megan Denega. I'm a regulated Canadian immigration consultant here with SYMY Immigration Consultants and Recruitment. I'm very happy to join you all today to discuss the new Caregiver Pilot program that was initiated by the Canadian government in June of 2019. Before we get into the details of the program and the eligibility requirements, I just wanted to take a moment to tell you a little bit more about who we are and what we do here at SYMY Immigration Consultants and Recruitment. So here at SYMY, we are a team of regulated Canadian immigration consultants, and we are also licensed recruiters. So generally speaking, we offer two sets of services. On the one hand, as immigration consultants, we represent individual foreign nationals such as yourselves with all aspects pertaining to Canadian immigration. We work on temporary resident visas such as study permits, work permits, and visitor visas. And we also work on permanent residence applications through the various programs. We do a lot of economic immigration through express entry or the various provincial nomination programs. We work, of course, with the Caregiver program that we're going to be discussing shortly. We work on family reunification, refugee claims, humanitarian and compassionate considerations. Pretty much anything that has to do with Canadian immigration, we can assist a foreign national. Wearing our hats as licensed recruiters, we represent Canadian employers, or in this case, Canadian households who are looking to hire foreign workers because they're not able to find suitable Canadian candidates to fill those positions. So this new Caregiver program lets us work in all aspects of our expertise. We work with the employers to find the job vacancies and the job offers, and we work with you on your temporary resident applications and your permanent residence applications. This program is LMIA exempt, the new Caregiver Pilot program. So an LMIA, or a labor market impact assessment, is what was typically required in order for a Canadian to hire a caregiver. Through this program, it's no longer required. You do still have to have a job offer from a Canadian employer, and we're working with a number of households and businesses who are looking to fill positions here in Canada. The eligibility requirements that are required from you are, first, the job offer in Canada. You must also have at least 1 year of post-secondary education, so that means you must have your high school completed and you must have completed a program of studies that is at least 1 year in length. You will be required to provide an education credential assessment that will show that you've completed 1 year of post-secondary education. There are also minimum language requirements for this program. However, the threshold is not very high. You will be required to demonstrate at least a Canadian language benchmark of 5 in all 4 areas. So you would need a 5 in reading, writing, speaking, and listening. Again, a 5 is not a very high threshold, and many people who have English language skills are able to obtain this. You must also demonstrate that you can do the duties of the job being offered. Now, this is not a black and white area. As long as you can demonstrate that you have the education or the work experience related to the job being offered to you, we can proceed with your work permit and permanent residence applications through the new Caregiver Pilot program. So for instance, I often get questions, well, I'm a teacher, can I qualify to be a live-in caregiver for children? And the answer is yes, as long as you can show that you can do the duties of the job being offered to you. For instance, I'm a nurse, can I work as a caregiver for a senior? Again, the answer would be yes, as long as you can show how you meet those duties of the job being offered to you. So again, to recap those requirements, you must have a job offer here in Canada. You must have at least 1 year of post-secondary education. You must give proof that you can do the duties of the job being offered to you, and you must have minimum language proficiency of at least a Canadian language benchmark of 5 in all 4 areas. Now, this program is what's called a dual intent application. And what does that mean? That means that once you have the job offer, simultaneously we apply for your open work permit and your permanent residence application. Now, the permanent residence application will not be processed until you've completed 24 months of work experience here in Canada. So that's the final eligibility requirement, is that you've worked as a caregiver for 24 months in Canada. We submit the permanent residence application and the open work permit application at the same time. The government will go through the permanent residence application and they'll check all of the requirements to make sure that they're complete. Once they've assessed that as a complete application, they'll then forward the work permit application for processing. And processing times will vary depending on the government's load at the time. Currently in the Philippines, work permit are being processed in about 6 weeks. So once they've done the initial intake of the application, they'll forward the work permit application for processing, and in about 6 weeks you should receive your work permit. Through this program, dependents are now eligible to apply to come to Canada as well. So if you're married, if you're in a common law relationship, or if you have children, they can apply for temporary residence and permanent residence at the same time that you apply. So they can be included in the application. So here at SYMY, we look forward to speaking with you about this program and this wonderful opportunity that we have here in more detail.